Hi there, my name is Piper O'Sullivan, and this is my presentation on how substance use affects your mental and physical health. So, first, let's jump into some substance use definitions. Use is the low or infrequent doses or consumption, which is typically prescriptions taken as directed by a doctor. Misuse is use that is not consistent with legal or medical guidelines. Abuse, which is use that adversely affects the health of the user with potential high social or personal costs. Addiction is the compulsive craving for a substance, which is a chronic and progressive disease where withdrawal is characterized by psychological symptoms. Next, moving on into the brain's pleasure center. So, this is a photo that describes the brain's reward pathways and how drug abuse increases your dopamine levels in your brain and it creates an imbalance. So drugs can affect the brain's reward system much more strongly than normal activities. Over time, it makes it harder for a person to feel happy from normal things like food, friends, or hobbies. So those feelings you get whenever you spend time with your friends and go get lunch or like hang out with them, those do create dopamine, but not at the same level and same rate that drugs infiltrate your brain with. So since the drugs are an immediate reaction, it boosts your dopamine levels up and it's hard for your brain to catch up. They also may feel tired or unmotivated or depressed. And then to feel normal again, they keep using the drug, which creates the cycle that is hard to stop. And your body also may begin needing more and more of the drug so they can feel the same good feelings. So if they were to continuously use the drug, it creates your higher tolerance, which leads to you needing to use more and more to get the same feeling as whenever you may have first started using the drug. Some drug facts: marijuana, nicotine, and alcohol are top substances used by youth. So this is a little statistic from 12 to 20-year-olds in the US. 10.5% used marijuana in the past month. 11.7% used tobacco or a vaping device in the past month. 10.4% vaped nicotine. And then 13.3% used alcohol in the past month. Some two ways of intersecting: people use substances to cope with a mental illness that they may already have had, or substance use can lead to mental health issues like depression and anxiety. Drug use changes your brain structure. So like I was talking about before, your dopamine levels, your brain needs more and more of that drug so it can stay level and stay high in its dopamine. So like substances also don't affect just your mental health, but there are also negative consequences to your physical health as well. So some physical effects: people with addiction often have one or more associated health issues such as lung or heart disease, strokes, or cancer. For example, it is now well known that tobacco smoke can cause many cancers, meth can cause severe dental problems, opioids can lead to overdose or death, and also some drugs, such as inhalants, may damage or destroy your nerve cells. Some early prevention efforts. The Just Say No campaign, led by Nancy Reagan in the 1980s, successfully raised awareness of drug dangers, but it is generally considered ineffective at reducing drug use. Despite its high visibility, the research did not show a direct link between the campaign and a long-term reduction in youth drug use. Some studies found participants in these programs were more likely to use substances like alcohol and cigarettes. And these are some of our prevention efforts now, which we try to focus on protective factors, skill building, bidirectional dialogue, evidence-based curriculum, and peer mentors. So effective substance use prevention today has moved away from the simple scare tactics of the DARE, and more towards evidence-based dynamic strategies that focus on building resilience, enhancing protective factors such as strengthening connections to family and community, and addressing the root causes of risk-taking behavior. In today's prevention efforts, it is recognized that substance use is a multifaceted thing and requires involving youth, families, schools, and communities so everyone is aware and take protective measures. And just a reminder, you are not alone. These are some of our Arizona crisis hotline and many of the protective efforts. So the Arizona statewide crisis hotline is stated here, 1-844-534-4673. The suicide hotline, which is 988. The crisis text line, which you type home to at 741741. The emergency line, which we all know is 911. And then the Casa Grande Alliance provides free Narcan, which if you don't know what Narcan is, it does have a reversal. It's a spray that you put up somebody's nose and it reverses an opioid overdose. And it has like the instructions on how to do it. And also a reminder that Arizona does have the Good Samaritan law. So if you were ever in a situation where you and somebody that you're with were doing drugs and you suspected that they were having a overdose, you could call 911 and not be in trouble for also being on those drugs because you are saving somebody's life. And you also never know when someone around you might be struggling, and that person might even be you. So what matters most is knowing that help exists and people care. Keep the numbers I am sharing here and share them if you need to, and never be afraid to speak up. Some sources that I used was SACLAs.org, Education Toolkit, the National Institute on Drug Abuse, the National Institutes of Health, and then the nationalcouncil.org. Thank you so much for watching, and please take this information